one of the things that you can awaken to is that life is a dream. You might be like, no, it's not. Like, I go to bed and I dream at night, right? Not quite. When you awaken, what you realize is that you are consciousness. And this consciousness that you are is dreaming up you, your life, and your entire sense of your reality. And, it's totally normal if you're not super familiar with this. So you might be like, why is it a dream again? You've been thinking that you're your ego. You're not. Now you see it. Now it makes sense. Now you have like a real shift in your experience. You almost can't believe it. Like, how could I not see this before? Like, oh my God, it's so clear. And now you start to contemplate a bit. You start to think, you start to reflect. And then you're like, oh, I get it. I get it. Awakening. Of course. I've been asleep. I can't believe I thought it was my ego. I can't believe I didn't see it. Wow. You realize you've tricked yourself. God has tricked itself. But like, it's done it deliberately. It's not like some bad thing. No, it's completely divine. And it's completely on purpose. You realize that your higher self deliberately put itself asleep, and you are that thing that's been asleep. You've been the dreamer. Yeah? Or really, maybe it's better to say you've been the dream. Because you're so in the dream, you're so identified with the dream character that like all you know is dream. You don't realize that you are the dreamer. Because if you took a step back, you realize, well, I'm dreaming. But no, we don't have the consciousness for that. We think that we're the dream character. We're not. Like, it seems that way, right? But appear. It's an illusion. It's a dream. And remember, it's okay if you don't understand. I didn't get this for ages. It took me years of contemplation to get this. Once you get it, you're like, okay, I get it. And you can't really like unsee it depending on the depth of your insight and awakening. And the really cool thing is you can deepen what you've realized. You can deepen your pre-existing insight or awakening. So maybe let's say you've had a shift and you're like, wow, okay, I see it. I'm dreaming. Okay, I've got it. I feel a bit excited, but okay, I've got it. What's interesting now is when you meditate and you contemplate, because that's what you should be doing when you meditate, not just sitting there and following your breath like some Buddhists might tell you to. Actually, what you want to do is you want to contemplate on your experience and basically have insights. That's at least the way that I like to meditate. That's what's most fulfilling for me. You see, you don't have to meditate like that. You might want to just have a blank, empty mind. To be honest with you, like after a while, that gets kind of shallow, gets kind of boring. You don't really just want to have a blank mind. You want to have a mind that's like sublime and full of insight. You don't want no mind. You want God's mind. Because no mind is like a decent awakening. It's a decent state to be in. I like it. I like to do it before my workouts. I like to do it before I go on a walk. Calm the mind, get to that state of no mind. But again, you want God's mind. And when I say that, dude, I don't mean that you get the physical brain of some man in the sky and you put it on your head and you say, oh, I've got God's mind now. No, dude, you don't do that. You don't need to do anything like that, okay? Instead, you sit, you calm your mind, you go within, you meditate, you contemplate, and you raise your consciousness, you shift your state, and you will realize that you are God's mind. God's mind is you. It's who you are. It's what you are. None of this religious stuff. You don't need to believe anything. What you really need to do is you need to shift your consciousness and you need to awaken. See, awakening is what you want. And again, that word awakening. What are we doing? We're waking up. Waking up from what? Waking up from the dream. You see how it ties in? Like at some point you'll kind of realize like, wait, I've been using this word awakening like for years, but I haven't really understood what it means. Wait, now, oh, I get it. You see, you'll love it when you get it. Obviously, like, it's the best bit, isn't it? When you actually have the insights and the awakenings. And I make those two things distinct there because, like, sometimes you'll just have insights and they'll be like, oh, cool. Like, okay, yeah, I have that insight. But sometimes you'll have awakenings. And wow, awakenings, man. I mean, listen, awakenings are like the good stuff. It's like the chocolate pudding. It's like, oh, I can't wait for an awakening. I just want an awakening. You see, this is what the spiritual ego does with awakening, because like it will start to like Yeah, dream up more ideas. You see, that's another really cool thing, actually, man. So spirituality is part of the dream. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, you think that spirituality is like the way that you wake up from the dream. No, no, no. The whole idea of spirituality is still within the dream. Now, obviously, it helps you a lot because it takes you towards awakening. And notice there that I've kind of made those two things distinct: spirituality and awakening. That's another thing that I want to put in your radar. You might start out with this thing called spirituality, but the more you pursue it, the more advanced you get with it, the more you start using the word awakening to describe what you're doing, because you realize that that's the only game in town. You realize that's the only thing you can do. Like, obviously you can do spiritual work, and that's great, man. And I really recommend that. And this channel is for that too. But if you really want to go all the way, and you just cannot live without knowing the truth of the universe, then, you can pursue awakening. The thing is, like, most people don't do that. If you do that, you're rare. You're already rare. You're already rare for so many reasons. If you're self-actualizing, if you're into spirituality, if you're conscious, and then on top of that, you like awakening work. Wow, you are a rare person, my friend. You are.